couple of things we want to talk about, right? I see a lot of players on the range just banging and beating out balls, and you can always tell a really good player because they can get so much done in such few swings or such few balls than the average golfer can do with a whole bucket of balls. And what do I mean by that? There's a very significant difference between going to the golf course and warming up to get loose and going to the golf course to practice to get better. And when you're going to the golf course to practice, you got to show up with a game plan, right? You got to understand that there's 3 fundamentals to the game, and you have to make sure that if you're working on your grip, you got to make sure that there's something on the ground to take alignment out of play. Make sure your alignment is the same exactly every single time. Right? You gotta eliminate one or two of the fundamentals from getting messed up when you're trying to fix your ball striking, you're trying to work on your golf swing, right? You want to try to do some things that can help you eliminate getting one of those fundamentals or being out of one of those fundamental positions. And obviously, if you don't know what the fundamentals are, it's grip, alignment, and setup, right? So I got to make sure that I want to make sure that my grip is the same every single time. That's something that I can do just by looking at my grip and making sure my fingers are in the same position before I make a swing, right? I can use an alignment stick to make sure that I'm lining up to my target the same way every single time. Now, my setup could be off just a little bit, and in most cases that will be, right? But one of the things that you can do to help you improve ball striking is making sure is getting better at controlling the club face from 6 inches behind the ball to 6 inches after the ball. That golf ball is going to stay on that club face for 3 to 6 inches, depending on what club you're hitting. But that golf ball is going to stay compressed on that club face somewhere between 3 to 6 inches after initial impact. And so knowing that, right, we want to get really good at controlling our club face, right, through that impact position. So that 12 inches, that foot, right, 6 inches behind, 6 inches after. And one of the things you can do, and I used to do, and still do if I ever get to a point to where I'm feel like I'm not compressing the ball well, you can go to this drill, which is you just drop 1 foot way back, right? This is a 52-degree wedge. Just drop 1 foot way back. And I want to just kind of do like a half or 3/4 golf swing, kind of get my hands to 8 or 9 o'clocks. And because again, if I can't control this club face slow or in shorter swings, how can I ever control it at a full swing? So I want to master getting control of these little short swings, right? I want to master getting control of these little short swings so I can get to a point to where I can control them at the top, right? So it'll look something like this. All right? It'll look something like that. And so if and you can stand on the range with a half a bucket of balls or a full bucket of balls, and you can go through this drill and you'll see a significant improvement in the way that you're transitioning to impact and letting that left side slam up against the wall, right? Because I see too many people trying to figure out where their power comes from or why they're not hitting the ball as far, or they're trying to swing harder to generate more club head speed and more distance. And that's the complete opposite, right? So they'll go and try to buy these new clubs and make all of these changes in their shafts and all this other stuff. And you might get 1, 2, maybe 5 extra yards, but the reality is the power that you're missing is coming because of your lack of understanding of the fundamentals and where power is initially generated from, right? So just get to the range, drop that right foot back if you're right-handed, right? And just work that 3/4 drill, that 9 o'clock drill that we're talking about. Work that 9 o'clock drill and pay attention to your hip as it rotates back, and it almost feels like you're slamming up against a wall. You don't want to sway, you don't want to move your head, you don't want to do all of that, but you just want to take this little 3/4 swing and feel what happens as your hip your right leg, if you're paying attention to my right leg, watch how see how that bends, extends out. Is that weight transfer, and that's where a lot of power is generated from. You see 300-yard drivers is generated because the energy is being stored and transferred from the ground up. Right? All right. So the swing almost looks effortless. So let's get better. Let's practice right. Know the difference between practicing and warming up. And you guys watch your game, your handicap drop 4 to 5 strokes over the next 90 days. Keep it up.